Hello, welcome back. In this lecture, I want to spend a few words about the Linux. That is a very popular operating system that we're going to use throughout this course. So let's give a start. So Linux is a member of the Unix-like operating system family. It gained popularity in the late 90s and today is one of the most common and most powerful operating system. There exist, many commercial Unix variants like 4.4 BSD and Solaris, and Linux coexist with these commercial Unix variants. There are open source alternatives include FreeBSD, NetBSD, and OpenBSD. Let's look at the origins and history of Linux. Linux was originally developed by Linus Torvalds in 1991 for the Intel-based processor. It's important to know that Linus Torvalds continues to oversee all the Linux development. Throughout all the years, the Linux expanded to support multiple architecture, for instance, like Alpha. If you are as old as me, you probably remember this Alpha architecture, and here we also see another number of, let's say, outdated architecture. Right. Most important thing is that there exist a new Linux operating system for a new architecture. Up in my mind, for instance, one of the last one is for the RISC-V processor. What are the licensing of Linux? Well, Linux source code is open and available under GPL, so you can actually download the full source code and actually compile it and build it. Here you see the website. It is accessible for actually studying operating system, but also for modification. In particular, the license encourages exploration and learning of a modern operating system. There are three technical aspects of Linux as a Unix kernel. As I told you, Linux is part of the big family of Unix operating system, but there are a few key differences. So Linux is a true Unix kernel, but is not a complete Unix operating system. And why is that? Well, it lacks built-in Unix application. For instance, file system, utilities, window system, they don't come right away with Linux. A second characteristic of Linux is that we can install additional software available under GPL. There are also commercial distributions that offer a complete Unix-like environment. So what are the differences between Linux and other Unix-like kernels? So unlike Unix-like systems are derived all from SVR4 and 4.4 BSD. It follows common standard like POSIX, and the standard specify the API, right? So basically the semantics on certain operation. The standard does not provide kernel design choices. This actually to the implementer to choice on how to implement the standard. Linux share fundamental design ideas with other Unix-like operating system. I want just to discuss a few features of the Linux 2.6 kernel. The first one is that is POSIX compliant, so supporting most Unix program. It includes features like virtual memory that we are going to discuss quite completely in one of the modules of this course. Linux features virtual file system and lightweight processes, and in addition SMP support. Sometimes it's comparable to modern Unix system like Solaris and Mac. There are a key design choices that have been done when designing Linux. The first one, this is a monolithic kernel, similar to most commercial Unix system. And this is as opposed to microkernel design choice, that the microkernel only support and design basic feature for operating system. A second important feature of Linux is a dynamic module support, unlike traditional static linking. A third major feature of Linux is the limited use of kernel threads. In Linux, we use lightweight processes for multi-threading. So these are the kernel threads. Don't worry, we are going back to the concept of kernel threads. So that's just bear with me. But this is one of the design choices, so the limited usage of the kernel threads. And as a third feature, the preemptible kernel option allows the interleave execution in privileged mode. There are also advanced Linux feature, multiprocessor support with SMP and NUMA. Also supports a variety of different file systems. It has no support for streams, I/O subsystem, and it freely evolves without market-driven restriction, unlike commercial Unix kernels that need to somehow respond to the request from the market in the development. An important distinction that we need to do is between Linux OS and Linux distribution. Linux distribution, or in short, a distro, is the combination of the Linux kernel plus additional software. So a Linux distro combines the Linux kernel with software and other utilities. So slightly different from the concept of operating system. We have the kernel plus a combination of additional software and utilities. There is also this distro also for a complete operating system with a user interface, application, and tools that is the interaction with operating system. It also includes a package management system to install, update, and manage software. And a number of different distributions exist tailored for different use cases like a desktop, server, supercomputers, or very specific system. There are three kinds of Linux distribution: community-driven, developed and maintained by volunteers; commercial, that are backed up by companies that offer support and services; and specialized kind of distribution, for instance, target for specific purposes. So, for instance, Kali Linux for security testing, CentOS for enterprise and environment. So let me give you just an overview which will be quite brief about the most common, most used distro, Linux distro. The first one is the Debian distro. Is known for its stability and extensive package repository. It uses apt manager, has quite a strong community support. Indeed, is one of the oldest and most influential Linux distribution. Ubuntu, you probably heard about it, is among the most famous Linux distribution. By design, Ubuntu is focused on the ease of use with a simple, intuitive interface. It also offers regular updates and long-term support. Among the most famous commercial distros, there is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. This is designed for commercial enterprise environment, and there is paid support. So the Red Hat offers paid support and services with focus on stability and security. This was the last slide of this brief lecture. We will talk again soon.